So I went into Crime 101 pretty excited because it had a review mean score of 76%. Across the board, the reviews were actually solid apart from a few complaints. But after watching it, I realized something that I needed to talk about. This is a well-acted, well-made crime thriller with a stacked cast, Chris Hemsworth as a quiet, methodical thief, Mark Ruffalo as the messy, obsessive detective chasing him, Halle Berry as someone stuck in a job that clearly doesn't value her, and Barry Keoghan just showing up and being chaos. And yeah, on the surface, it feels like a pretty standard crime movie with that slow burn pacing LA atmosphere. But here's the thing. I don't think most people are looking at this movie the right way. A lot of people are comparing this movie to the classic heist movie Heat, but this isn't really a movie about crime, and it's not even really about the heist. It's about some characters doing what they can to survive in a world full of sharks in a dog-eat-dog world. Once you see it that way, the entire movie starts to make a lot more sense. Look at the main characters. Ruffalo's a good cop, competent, driven, knows he's right, but the system doesn't care. He's buried in red tape. His bosses want numbers, not truth, and the more right he is, the more frustrated he becomes. Halle Berry's in a completely different world, but dealing with the exact same problem. She's good at her job, experienced, capable, professional, but undervalued, ignored, treated like she's replaceable. And then you have Hemsworth, who doesn't deal with the system at all because he left it. He's not just a thief, he's someone who chose a different way of working, with rules, structure, control. Everything the other characters don't have, he's built for himself. And that's the connection no one really talks about. All three are defined by their relationship to a world that will discard them in a second if they don't adapt. One is trapped in the system, one is overlooked by it, and one has stepped outside of it.
We all are aware that we're aging. We all are aware that the world is trying to chew us up and spit us out. We're all aware that the job that we work probably doesn't care about us as much as we care about it. And this is reflected in three leads.
So when critics say the movie is character-driven, they're right. It is about frustration. Every character is dealing with the same underlying problem. They're being forced to make choices they'd prefer not to make. And that ties into another criticism people keep bringing up, that the movie feels slow, that it drags.
But with this one, there's just a couple things in there where I'm like, that wasn't necessary. This took a little while to get to, and
that it's longer than it needs to be. And again, that's fair, but I also think it's intentional because the pacing mirrors the lives of these characters. It's repetitive, drawn out, frustrating. You spend time watching routines, sitting in conversations that don't immediately pay off, watching people stuck in situations that don't move forward quickly, and that's exactly what their lives feel like. So instead of a fast-paced, tightly structured heist movie, you get something that feels more like real life, which is why it feels different and why it doesn't fully land for everyone. The same goes for the romance. Some say it could have been cut, that it distracts from the plot, but again, that misses the point, because for Hemsworth's character, the romance is the only part of his life that isn't controlled. When he's working, he's precise, calculated, almost mechanical, but socially, he's awkward, uncomfortable, out of his depth. So the romance shows you the part of him that is off guard, and that contrast matters because it reminds you that even though he seems to have escaped the system, he didn't escape being human. You see this clearly when he meets Monica Barbara's character. After her car bumps into his, she initially tries to pin the blame on him, but as they go back and forth, he starts to realize she's not really who she's pretending to be. The film captures this in a quiet moment, in the way he watches her when she isn't looking. He sees that she's pretty, of course, but also senses that she's different. And that's what leads him to ask her out. And from there, the rest follows. He realizes his world can be better with her in it. And that ties back into the bigger theme. This movie is full of people trying to regain control over their lives. Ruffalo finds purpose in the chase, Barry tries to assert her value, Hemsworth tries to maintain control through precision, but none of them fully succeed. At least not in a clean, satisfying way. And that's why the movie feels a bit off compared to something like Heat, because that movie is about obsession and duality, while this one is about something quieter. It's about what happens when you're stuck in a system that doesn't work for you and the different ways people try to deal with that. Some follow the rules, some push against them, some walk away entirely, and none of those options are perfect. So yeah, on the surface, Crime 101 is a solid crime thriller, good performances, strong atmosphere, a bit too long, but underneath that, it's a movie about work, about identity, and about what happens when the structure you rely on stops giving you anything back. I think that's why the reaction to it feels quite mixed, because people are judging it like a heist movie when it's really something else. Whether that works for you or not depends on what you were expecting when you walked in. And that's my take on Crime 101. Hope you got something from this, and I'll see you in the next one.